Oh, what's up, everybody? It's Prophet Fear here, and today we're going to be going through my chest and arms and delts workout. Yeah, so you guys know I do things a little bit differently, and you guys always want to see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go through my current bulking workout because I just switched to bulking. I'm gonna be going through my mindset of each lift. All right, so here we're starting off with an incline fear press. I know some of you guys don't know what a fear press is, but it's an upper chest exercise. It's also a front delt exercise and also a side delt exercise. So we're training to like the delts actually have more than three divisions. They apparently have seven or whatever. I think that's what they're saying nowadays. And yeah, this one trains all the front ones, the frontal ones, like these ones, the ones on this side over here, especially more. See, look, all this stuff. Anyway, so fear press. What is a fear press? Okay, so let's get straight to it. When you're doing a normal chest press, you're always coming out horizontally like this, keeping tension on the chest. But when you do a fear press, you come out to the side and you tilt the dumbbell so that the dumbbell is vertical. It's vertical with gravity instead of perpendicular with gravity. What this does is, if you visualize it, if you visualize this dumbbell in this position, the weight is pulling straight down from both sides like this instead of pulling you down. It's underneath your arm. It's underneath your humerus right here. And the distance between the weight and the shoulder is not very far. But when you tilt the dumbbell, now all of that weight pulls straight down. Gravity pulls this way. So now all of the 70 pounds, it pulls straight down like this out here instead of out here, like one side here, one side here. So the distance is greater. The rotation of the dumbbell causes it to tilt, which pulls on your arm like this. Instead of just coming down like this, it actually tilts it horizontally, causing the shoulder to abduct, which causes the side delts to work more, and also your shoulder dips down into extension, which trains your upper chest more, trains your front delts more. It's a more compound version of an incline press because of this shoulder rotation. Oh yeah. So this is abduction. Okay, this is abduction, you guys. This is how you train your chest. When you tilt the dumbbell, you change the angle of your arm, your humerus, to come down like this. And when your arm comes down like this and the weight tilts like this, the tension shifts to your side delts and front delts. All those divisions that we talked about earlier. It tilts here. And then when you're coming back up, you just tilt your arm back. This is a flapping motion. This is a side delt motion. And when you come back like this and your forearm is vertical again, you just pull your arm around. So this is chest, this is delt. Simple, right? So it's a great lift. Man, I talk about my lift so much. Like, I'm trying to shill this lift to you guys. I don't care if you guys do it or not, but like people ask me why I do the lifts that I do. Well, there's one reason. There's actually a couple of reasons. And it's a great lift, and it's a fun lift too. Just look at my shoulders. Doesn't it look like they're working? For anyone who doubts what I'm saying, doesn't it look like the delts are working a lot? Sure looks like that to me, even in this low resolution. Anyway, here you guys can see that I actually do take these beyond failure because of the fact that my arms lose range of motion rep to rep at the end. That's how you know you're working hard enough. When you're doing partial reps and your range of motion is shrinking rep after rep, you're working hard enough. You're working hard enough to grow muscle. Now, because I was doing side delts and chest, I'm going to finish off with side delts with these pal raises. And these are a great lift. These are one of my favorites. I don't like lateral raises. I don't even like upright rows, really. But these are one of the best side delt lifts ever. And don't mind the lack of range of motion. That's all by design. You could come a little bit higher. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You could go a few inches higher, or you can go this high, and it's the same result. But this one is fun. It's minimal energy. You're just moving like this. Oh yeah. So this is like a Y raise, if anything, because of the angle. because I'm in this position and it's coming around the body instead of across the body, your shoulder's actually getting pulled into you like this. And I always have this grip, this supinated grip, because the side delt is an internal rotator of the shoulder. And what that means is when you come up, it rotates like this. And on the way down, it rotates like this. And when you do it like this, and you're on the bench like this, it causes it to come out in front of you. So it's not really a rear delt fly, it's a front raise. It's like a Y raise in front of you, like this, laying down. It's a great lift. I think it's way better than dumbbell standing lateral raises by a long shot. You guys are better off doing lifts like this in general. You don't have to do my lifts. Arnold has been doing these for decades ago. Many lifters did these decades ago. These are a great lift. I recommend them. Now, we got side delts out of the way. Let's finish off with chest. Okay, what are we doing? What is that? Come on. You guys know me. I do all kinds of things. So here we're doing pullovers, wide grip pullovers for the chest. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, so let's just get something out of the way. When you do a fear press or an incline press of any kind, you're training shoulder extension and shoulder adduction. So your arm comes out like this, and then it extends down here, and you do the opposite, and you're training your upper fibers. That's the clavicular pec functions. Those are the two functions. But with the lower chest, sternal fibers, abdominal fibers, they do the opposite. They do abduct, they do adduct. They come out like this, but they're shoulder extensors. They're not flexors, they're extensors. So what that means is this part of your chest, the majority of your chest, what it does is when you come up and bring your arm, your humerus, this is called the humerus, you bring it behind your head like this, and you let it pull on you like this, right? It's stretching these fibers. And when you flap like this, it causes it to contract, right? So that's how it works. It actually comes all the way like this. But when you're up here, the tension is maximized behind your body, like I'm doing. And also, it works the pec minor more because the pec minor only works, well, it works in a couple of ways, but it works in upward rotation. This is called upward rotation of the scapula. When you come in this position, you stretch your pec minor up here. It's a deep muscle. You can't see it. It's underneath your chest. When you come up here, you feel an immense amount of tension right here. That's your pec minor. It's not your upper chest. That's your pec minor. And it's actually also training my long head. So this is dipping into the tricep work a little bit. Obviously not for the lateral head, medial head, but for the long head, this is a good exercise. Now, I'm new to this variation. I mean, I've done it before, but once I get stronger at this variation, I'm using 85 pounds, 95 pounds, same range of motion. The long head will get closer to failure. I mean, it's pretty close to failure right now. Like, it's getting challenged, but the chest was the limiting factor in this set. So, just for you guys, so this is the winner's range of motion right here. You don't have to go any higher than this. See, you come out to external rotation, internal rotation, which is the chest is an internal rotator, guys. So you externally rotate, stretch it a bit more, internally rotate, externally rotate. Yeah. And posture. You want to enter retraction. You want to get your chest out as much as you can at the bottom. Really get that exaggerated posture in the bottom. You can see my ribs are poking out at the bottom. It's okay to let them round on the way up, but you want them to pull up on the way down. And also, before anyone asks me, isn't this for the lats? So pullovers are very convoluted. There's many ways to do them, many different grips, dumbbells, barbells. I don't like the dumbbell versions, like the single dumbbell. I don't like that one at all. You can use cables, but when you grab a barbell like this and you don't keep your elbows high up like this, doing this motion, but you let your humerus come out into abduction like this, and then you let your arm rotate, externally rotate, flex the shoulder. It's a lot of pec. It's a lot of pec up here. This is where their leverage is highest anyway. And also, it works a lot of rhomboids. My rhomboids got sore from these, and that's totally normal, guys. Pullovers work the rhomboids if you go low enough, which you can with this version because I don't bring the dumb weight way out here. I keep it close to my head. I rotate around my head, and it's behind me, so it never hits my head. So that's why I can keep it close to my shoulders and just do this. But it's a great rhomboid builder, and it's a great builder of these muscles right here. It's called levator scapulae. They are also kind of a deep muscle, but they're part of your neck. They go into your traps. They're great. You guys probably don't really know that, but pullovers are probably the best motion for that muscle, honestly. And they're a great motion for the chest, which is what I was doing these for. Okay. So now we're getting into triceps. We did a little bit of long head. Now we're doing actual directed tricep work. We're going to be doing Russian dips. Now this is my variation of Russian dips. You guys know I always think you should make adjustments that you feel are best for you. In this motion, we're going to be dropping our elbows to the to the handle, down to the handle, resting our elbows and our upper arm on the handle, and then coming back up like this. I'm gonna be doing this. Now, it's hard to do it sitting down, but this dude, he can demonstrate it for you. I can't demonstrate anything because, I can't do anything. Oh, yeah, and that was not necessarily a full rep. That one was a little better. See, I picked the weight based off my logbooks when I was heavier. See, that's what happens when you cut in bulk sometimes. Sometimes you can't hit those old weights anymore in terms of total weight because you're lighter. But I tried, and this was a PR, a weight PR, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But it's an alright set. This was an okay set. I dropped the weight down 20 pounds after this one, and the control on the hole, tension in the hole was definitely better. But this was an okay set. This was a decent set. I got the point across. I got this motion. And it's a great tricep builder. It's like a bodyweight jam press. And you guys know, jam presses are a great lift. They're a great lift on the barbell, and they're a great lift with bodyweight. You can do them in a push-up position as well. You could call these jam dips. And another thing, before we go to the next lift, to the biceps. So this motion also trains your lower traps a lot, because when you shrug up and forward like this and your chest collapses and you pull your chest back into position, that's a lot of lower trap, and there's a lot of retraction on the way down. Like, you get pulled into a really retracted position on the way down before you shrug forward. That's a lot of serratus. Serratus also works in upward rotation. There might be some downward scapular rotation, just the way I do it. So it could work the lower traps in a variety of ways. It also works your serratus. Yeah, this is a great way to do dips. It's a more challenging way. It's advanced. I'm not saying everyone can do a Russian dip with weight, with even their body weight, actually. Even a body weight jam dip would be really challenging. Russian dip, jam dip, whatever you guys want to call it. I don't care. You guys can call these lifts whatever you want. Also, the pullovers also work the serratus substantially. I can't forget that. I didn't mention it, but it's true. Okay, chest and triceps and delts are done. Now we're going for the biceps. And wow. That's a pretty damn good bicep vein. It's like, I'm just kidding, guys. I don't care. But anyway, so this is my new pet lift, I guess. I mean, I have a new pet lift every month. But this is like the lift that I'm putting most of my chips into right now, mentally speaking at least, for my biceps and the arms in general. And coracobrachialis. So this is the coracobrachialis. This is a type of angle that you would want to get into to train this, more out here, opening up here and then stretching this out. There's no lighting here, but like if you look, there's a muscle like right here, and that's your coracobrachialis. When you come out into this position, it stretches it more. So that's one reason why I like this type of curl a bit more than average. It also stretches the long head, like right here where the coracobrachialis and the long head meet. You will get a lot of tension like right here, especially in the proximal side of your bicep. This is the distal side. Okay, when people say distal, they mean all of this. But this is the proximal side. This is all proximal right here. So it's a really great proximal lift. Really great proximal lift. And it trains the whole bicep. Because just look at it. Shoulder extension, shoulder abduction, elbow extension. It's a great lift. And I look jacked doing it. It's a great lift. Now, I was using 180 pounds, so that's like 90 pounds per side. You can load it up. Now, I will say that on a few of those final reps, I was thinking, if there's a lift that I could do that could rupture a bicep, wouldn't it be this lift? just some humor. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, this lift could actually legitimately pop my bicep, which means it's a good lift. All right, so let's get it on with this. What do we have? We have preacher curls. So finally, a normal lift. In a list of awkward, unorthodox lifts, we finally have the one normal lift so far. The first normal lift so far, I should say. And what are we doing? We're doing 75 pounds, and when I do preacher curls, see, this ties into well-rounded programming. I told you guys that this motion biases the proximal side, but what biases the distal side? It will be a lift that doesn't engage the shoulder joint, doesn't involve tension in the shoulder joint, like a preacher curl. A preacher curl can be done with shoulder tension, or it can be done rounded over like this, taking the shoulders into this awkward position, adducted, flexed, and that way you get to actually isolate this motion without any shoulder activity, which I think is overrated, but it's a nice variation. It's a good contrast between proximal, distal, all that BS. What else? What's so interesting about this? So when I do preacher curls, I have dynamic extension and flexion of the wrist. On the way down, I extend, and somewhere at the top, I start flexing. This causes the eccentric to get harder. Well, I wouldn't even say that. It causes your forearm muscles to become more involved. That was annoying. Anyway, I'm back. So, yeah, we're doing preacher curls right here. Elbow extension, we're taking the shoulders out of it. I already mentioned all of that. This is a great way to work your biceps. You don't always need the most stretch bias lift, even though this is a stretch bias lift. It isn't a length bias lift. It's a stretch bias lift. A little bit different. So I like these, and they're a great way to contrast the weird shoulder angles that I use on other curl variations. So on this one, I think I got 12. I think I could have stopped at 10 and it would have been really clean. I just wanted to break the logbook. I just saw 11 reps, so I wanted 12. It's probably unnecessary to push that hard, but I don't care. It's a preacher curl. They're hard, but they're not that hard. You know what I mean? So of course I'm gonna try a little bit. See, that's how you know I pushed a little bit too hard, because the elbow came off the pad. But that's okay. Who cares? Right? It's called technical failure. I hit technical failure and then I got more tension anyway. So who cares? Right? Preacher curls, great lift. And then what's left? What's left? Oh yeah, wrist curls. So I like to use the T-bar station. These are actually called sleeves, I think. You can use them on any barbell. You just take the side of a barbell, you load it. You don't load the other side. I mean, you could, But you just load one side and you grab it one arm at a time, and there you go. You have a one arm T-bar sleeve wrist curl, and these are great. Oh yeah, new thing that I started doing. I started using wrist straps for my wrist workouts, and it's actually really great. I think it's way better than without wrist straps. Funny enough, guys, isn't that funny? Using straps is more optimal for growing your forearms than not using straps. So all those anti-strap fanatics are shit out of luck. But anyway, let's get back to the video. So with this, I really focused on trying to get the palm to open up, because even though I'm wearing straps, you can still let the weight pull on your fingers like this. You can open your palm up. Unlike a normal wrist curl without straps, a weight can roll out of your fingertips. But with this, you can exaggerate the motion a bit more instead of being afraid of letting the sleeve roll out of your fingertips, which is fine. That's how I built my forearms. My forearms got built without straps on these lifts. But I'm saying that I have found straps to make them even more effective for working the forearms. That's all. You can do them without straps. I just prefer at this point to do them with straps, especially with the weights that I'm using. This is 60 pounds plus the barbell on a fat grip. This is basically a fat grip wrist curl. Full range of motion, full extension, no flexion, full flexion, just, you know, to neutral. Or maybe a bit less. Who cares? Anyway, guys, so that's my workout. I hope this has been informative. You guys like to see what I do. So yeah, quick run through. Beer presses for incline, for front delts, side delts, upper chest. Instead of using a flat press, in this workout, I used a pullover motion, because pullovers also work the chest, depending on how you do them. I didn't do any incline curls or anything like that. There are more angles than just incline curls. What else? Yeah, long head from the pullovers. I like to combine muscle groups in my exercises, so I got multiple back muscles from the lower traps, rhomboids, levators, maybe some lat. I don't think so, honestly. With that variation, not too much. Great workout. Arms destroyed, forearms. Look at this. Look at this. My forearms had veins all over them. So great workout. I hope this video has been informative. It's been too long. It's been too long, but I had to go through my workout. So leave your questions in the comment section down below if you have any questions. I mean, I'm